The events take place during the time when Elisha, the prophet, succeeded Elijah. Elisha had asked for and received a double portion of Elijah's spirit. And he went on to perform many miracles and acts of God's power. The widow's oil story is one of these remarkable occurrences. The widow in desperation. The story begins with the introduction of a widow who is facing a dire situation. Her husband, who was a servant of the Lord, had passed away, leaving her in a precarious financial position. In those times, widows were often vulnerable and dependent on their family for support. With the loss of her husband, this widow was left with debts and no means to repay them. In her desperation, the widow approaches Elisha, the prophet, seeking guidance and help. Elisha, being a man of God, is sensitive to the needs of the people and is ready to assist those who come to him with faith. Elisha's question and the widow's response. Elisha, discerning the widow's predicament, asks her a crucial question: "What shall I do for you? Tell me, what have you in the house?" This question is significant, as it prompts the widow to consider the resources she already possesses. Sometimes, in the midst of difficulties, we may overlook the blessings or solutions that are already within our reach. The widow responds that she has nothing in the house except a jar of oil. This seemingly insignificant jar of oil becomes the focal point of the miraculous intervention that is about to unfold. Elisha's instructions. Elisha, under the guidance of the Lord, provides the widow with specific instructions. He instructs her to go to her neighbors and borrow as many empty vessels as she can. The number of vessels is emphasized, with Elisha stating, "Not too few." This instruction sets the stage for a demonstration of faith and obedience. The widow is then told to take her jar of oil and pour it into all the borrowed vessels. Elisha assures her that the oil will not run out until all the vessels are filled. The miracle unfolds. The widow, perhaps perplexed but displaying faith, follows Elisha's instructions. She gathers the empty vessels from her neighbors and begins to pour the oil. Miraculously, the oil keeps flowing, filling each vessel one after another. The small jar of oil seems to defy the laws of nature as it continues to provide abundantly. This supernatural provision not only meets the immediate needs of the widow but exceeds. The widow's story underscores the importance of faith and obedience in the face of challenging circumstances. Despite the apparent impossibility of the situation, the widow trusts Elisha's instructions and acts accordingly. The miracle of the never-ending oil serves as a powerful reminder of God's ability to provide abundantly when we turn to Him in faith. It echoes the sentiment expressed in Philippians chapter 4 verse 19, "And my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus." 3. Elisha's question to the widow about what she has in her house highlights the importance of recognizing and utilizing the resources at our disposal. Often, God works through what we already have, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Throughout the Bible, there is a recurring theme of God's care for widows and orphans. This story exemplifies God's compassion for those in vulnerable positions and His willingness to intervene on their behalf. The story of Elisha and the widow's oil is a testament to the miraculous provision of God and the transformative power of faith and obedience. It encourages readers to trust in God's ability to meet their needs, even in the midst of seemingly insurmountable challenges. The widow's journey from desperation to abundance serves as an enduring source of inspiration and a reminder that, with God, all things are possible. The miracle of Elisha and the widow's oil is a story from the second book of Kings in the Bible. It tells the story of a widow who was about to lose her 2 sons to slavery because she could not pay off her debts. She went to Elisha, a prophet of God, for help. Elisha asked her what she had in her house, and she said that she had only a small jar of oil. Elisha told her to go and borrow empty vessels from all her neighbors and to pour the oil into them. As she poured, the oil kept multiplying until all the vessels were full. Elisha then told her to sell the oil and pay off her debts. She did so, and she and her sons were able to live on the rest of the money. This story is a powerful reminder of God's provision and faithfulness. Even when we are in desperate need, God can provide for us in ways that we cannot even imagine. He is a God of miracles, and He is always with us. The story also teaches us the importance of obedience. The widow obeyed Elisha's instructions, even though they seemed strange. As a result, she experienced God's miraculous blessing. When we obey God, He is faithful to bless us. Finally, the story of Elisha and the widow's oil reminds us that God cares for the poor and the oppressed. He is a God of justice, and He will not allow the wicked to go unpunished. The widow in this story was being oppressed by her creditors, but God intervened and provided for her. God is always on the side of the oppressed, and He will fight for justice on their behalf. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you.